Welcome, everyone, for another episode of Tune In with Trevor. We are so fortunate to have Annie Ellis with us today, a stunt woman par excellence. Where did you grow up?
I grew up at the north end of Malibu, California.
And what did your dad
Blessed.
do?
My dad was actually a pro motorcycle racer and surfer, but he was a big-time tiki carver for all the Polynesian restaurants in many states.
He did well, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I bought, when they closed some of them, the one up in Ventura, the trade winds. I bought a couple of their tikis when they had a big sale.
How'd you get into stunt person work?
I got in, I had a big horse background. There was only a couple, there was maybe 15 stunt women back then. Late 70s is when I got in. And only a couple knew how to ride horses. And back then there was a lot of TV shows and stuff with women on horses. So I started getting work right away. You know, I showed horses. I rode horses. I had to learn at the Glory Ranch in Calabasas. They made you learn riding bareback first.
Oh, boy.
Until you could tell them every part of the saddle and bridle.
Oh.
Right? But you had to learn how to ride bareback first. So I was a good rider.
I understand your brother was a big influence. Tell me about him.
Oh, my brother was the best. He was the kindest, and he was an awesome stuntman. He went into coordinating, and then second unit. He did a lot of second unit directing.
What was his name?
David Ellis.
Did he get you into being a stunt person? Or?
Yes, he did. He got me my first job, and then I got a lot of horse jobs. I was still, had just finished, I worked at the vets in Malibu since I was 14. Thought I'd be a vet. But, and I had a pet store too out there.
Why did you want to be a stunt person?
You know, well, the horses grabbed me at first because I've always been a big animal person and worked at the vets, like I said, and horses were just my whole deal. I mean, Malibu, now there's houses everywhere. We used to ride our horses to the market, which is now Starbucks. There was no big markets. We had to go to Oxnard for the market. But my brother, when they tore down the few houses on Zuma Beach, my brother, and made it County Beach, we used to ride our horses on the beaches all the time. My brother got the first ticket on Zuma Beach for riding a horse.
I would think that being a stunt person is dangerous. Did you ever get injured?
I got injured a couple times. I broke my back and on a big motorcycle jump. I was on the back of it. We jumped the car. Then the director wanted to do it a second time, but the suspension was out on the motorcycle.
I see.
So when we landed, I came down onto the seat. You know, you have to stand up on the pegs when you do a jump. But I hit hard, but that was the first shot of the day, and I always say I'm fine. And so at the end of the day, I drove myself to the ER. But
you were fortunate to basically...
But my brother's biggest thing was safety.
Mm.
He used to always say, think of what could go wrong, and then think of what could go wrong. And that I will never forget, because the safety, it's all about the safety when you do stunts. I mean, I've seen some bad accidents, and it's only because, you know, they're not thinking about every single thing that go wrong. And our ND drivers, the nondescript drivers, are so important. Like on Fast and Furious 2, we had almost 50 stunt guys. And some of them weren't happy that they didn't get to be a cop that was chasing the guys. I got to be a cop, and I was a girl. But they're very important because they need to, you know, we're going about 60. They need to keep their spacing, you know, because we're weaving in and out of them on this 2-lane big highway. And if they don't keep their spacing, you know, we're chasing. I had to go in the dirt and go around some of them, and then that'll be a big crash if they close it up.
Let's talk about some of your famous stunts. I think the first one is Betty White and the commercial for, what was it? Snickers.
Snickers.
Tell us what happened there.
Betty White is just She was one of my favorite actresses I ever doubled, and so funny, and so kind, but so funny. I mean, if you watch that commercial, I got tackled. The stunt coordinator's son was actually a real football player at a university up north, and he had him come down to be the guy that tackles me. And he tackled me hard. I only had to do it once. The director went, perfect. Usually my head will go, no, if I'm sliding a car up to a camera, I could have got an inch closer.
Well, you did
But
it all,
that
right?
was-
I mean,
that was
jumps,
perfect.
jumps, falls, driving cars quickly, fast, right?
Yeah.
Anything that
I
they
got to do
needed.
6 Fast and Furiouses.
Oh my gosh!
They were all fun. Yeah.
They wanted a woman driver in Fast and Furious, huh?
Well, I was on 6 of them, but on number 2, I got to be a cop
I see.
in the big car chase. We went to Florida to use a huge highway back there, and it was awesome that I got to be a cop chasing them.
You were on Snakes on a Plane, and and 30 snakes were dropped on you. What was that like?
Okay, well, we gotta tell the truth about that one. My brother was the director of Snakes on a Plane.
Oh,
I was the stunt coordinator, and David Ellis was the best jokester. That's why I'm a little silly too, but he was the best jokester. He would play jokes on everybody, even Samuel Jackson, who was the actor on that movie. He played jokes on everybody, every day. So, this day, he kept trying to make me look at the monitors at the front of the airplane set where we were sitting. And he's like right in front of me right here. He's like, Annie, no, look, should we redo that last scene? And we had already said it was great, so I knew he was doing something. But he didn't want me to look back in the aisle to see 2 of the snake wranglers bringing a big trash tub of snakes up the aisle. But I see him go through the door, which I know goes upstairs. And the hatch is in the ceiling. They opened the hatch above me and dumped them on me. I saw my brother's grin, and I knew it was him. I knew. I didn't even move. I did move when we needed a couple more legs from the knees down. The shot is going along to see passengers and see the snakes coming when they first come out of the vents. And the snake wranglers are on the other side of just telling us stunt people, no matter what you do, do not move. Just don't move. And this one comes out and he's wrapping around my ankle. And I look at the guy and I'm like, is he gonna bite me and strangle my ankle? You know how the cobras or whatever do that? They had all kinds of snakes on that movie. We even had a 30-foot one that was this big around. Took 7 of us to hold it. It was crazy. But, so he goes, no, Annie, just don't move. Well, I didn't see the other snake coming from behind me, under my chair, and I had loose pant leg, and he was going up the inside of my pant leg. I didn't feel him till he touched my inside of my knee.
oh boy.
What do you think I did? You can't kick, and that one might bite you and strangle you. But I still, to this day, don't know how I did it. I boinged straight up in the air. He fell out of my pant leg. He fell off my ankle. And I ended up standing up in my seat on the airplane. I don't know how I boinged up like that. I was a bunny that day. But I did it.
Another one, a famous movie was Westworld, where it was Kevin Costner and Dennis Hopper.
Oh, Waterworld.
Waterworld, excuse me. What was that like?
Oh, that was awesome. My brother coordinated on that. Second unit directed. My dad even worked on that one with us. My dad got in stunts after me, and he was awesome. But yeah, just working with them I got to work on both sides. It was Dennis Hopper. He was the head of they were called the Smokers. And so when we played a smoker, they put this dark makeup on us because they were smokers. And every one of them had a cigarette in their hand, literally, all the time, the smokers. And then the good guys, the Mariners, were Kevin Costner's people. I got to play them too. Didn't have to get that gross makeup on. But that was a really fun movie. And then I went to double Erica Eleniak. I doubled her a couple years on Baywatch. Did a lot of cool stuff on that. And she went to do movies. And Pamela Anderson took her spot on Baywatch. And she wanted me to come double her on her first movie. And I get there, and who's the director was Dennis Hopper, a smoker. But he was great. I mean, I was so blessed to have worked with so many great directors and producers and actors and stunt guys.
You doubled Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction.
Yes, and
What was that scene, and what was that like?
I've seen Michael Douglas since a couple times, and I give him SHIT. Because we did several fight scenes and crazy stuff. I doubled Glenn Close, yes, and they called us back 6 months later to New York because they didn't like the ending; it was too boring. So we shot 3 different bathtub scenes that they had come up with, and they ended up using the one where Michael is strangling her in the bathtub. Well, I give them SHIT. Can I say that word?
Yeah.
Shit. When I see him, because he left bruises on my neck.
Oh.
He really strangled me. But that was a fun movie.
And then there's That Darn Cat. What happened there?
Lots of cats. I'll never forget when they had over 100 cats come out of the doors of a big church and down the big stairway. And I was like, how are they going to catch all those cats? Like, you got wranglers and stuff, but it was crazy. That was a fun one. It was just fun with all the cats and stuff.
You did Pirates of the Caribbean. What were you? What did you play?
Forgot about that one.
What did you play?
I didn't know. On a lot of those we were ND, which means nondescript. Where you're not doubling someone, you're just doing crazy stunt stuff, even in the background and stuff, So that was different stuff on a ship, and I don't know, some of them I really can't remember the exact items.
Twister. You worked on Twister. What'd you do there?
Oh, yeah, they tried to kill me a few times on that one. I doubled Helen Hunt. We actually did real storm chase. There's storm chasers, guys they're like a group of 5 trucks that actually chase storms to get the footage of tornadoes, I guess. But it's crazy. There's always like this cloud of big hail before a tornado usually. And so we did real storm chase. 4 of us stunt people, me and 3 of the guys, and 4 camera guys and a weatherman. We went into 4 states chasing to see if, and we did run into 2 tornadoes. And that storm cloud that came, we couldn't see anywhere, but we zoomed out of there, went back to the little town we were working outside of to see like semis overturned, houses have demolished, people coming out of their basements, and it was telephone poles broken. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
You've doubled Linda Evans, Heather Locklear, and Heather Thomas. That's Dynasty, T.J. Hooker, and The Fall Guy. Were they easy or difficult to double? Do you have any stories about them?
I didn't have any problems with any of them.
Did you ever have a problem with anybody trying to double anybody?
No, not really any problems. I don't want to talk bad about anybody. Madonna was fun to double. I doubled her, a big fight scene, and then I get shot out the window into the river. I'm dead. That was with Willem Dafoe. He was great. But she was interesting to work with. But can I tell you one more thing about Twister? They drop from 100 feet up. It's on a crane, a huge tanker truck, and it's half full of gasoline, the ones they filled the gas stations with. And they're going to drop it. As soon as it hits the cement on the street, it explodes, huge fire. But the director wanted us to go faster next time. So we had to go back and do it again. We didn't want to do it again. It was gnarly. As soon as it explodes, you're in flames and you can't see. And then you come out of the flames. I'm glad I had them put plexiglass on the inside of the windshield and the windows because some of them blew on the second one. We came back and the director says, Annie, you do this 2 weeks ago. You don't need a rehearsal. I just want you to go 10 miles an hour faster.
Oh.
And the mark on the bridge where he's going to hit the button to drop that, special effects, is in the same spot. Right away I'm thinking, okay, well, it's going to be heavier because it's full of gas now and it'll drop quicker. Remember my brother said, think of what could go wrong. So I would always think everything out, which you have to doing stunt work. And 10 miles an hour faster, no, that's not going to be good. So I called the producers over because Jan didn't want to take 5 minutes to do a rehearsal. And he shouldn't be in a hurry when you do stunts. That's all I keep saying. But so they said, sure, you can have 5 minutes to do one rehearsal. And over the radio, special effects said 3, 2, 1, bang. And we were directly under it. So it would have landed on us. But that second one was crazy. It started our whole truck on fire and... but we made it.
Do you ever tell a director, I'm sorry, we can't do it, this is too dangerous here, what you want?
No. But I have demanded, like I did on Twister, that we have a rehearsal.
Okay.
And I reversed. We did not go 10 miles an hour faster like he wanted because I knew that we would not be good.
If a stunt is dangerous or to some degree out of the ordinary, do you get paid extra? Or is it just
well, we
the same?
always get, you almost always, I mean, if it's a nothing thing, you know, but you always get extra from our SAG base. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now
we get stunt adjustments, and depending. I've gotten a $5,000 adjustment.
You mentioned stunt coordinators. Who are they and what do they do?
They're the ones that hire all the stunt people. And they work with the director or the second unit director. Second unit is, you know, there's still a lot of stunts done in first unit. First unit is where the actors always are. But if you're doing big chase scenes and stuff where you don't have the actor, you know, then it's all stunt people. That's second unit director.
What the percentage of women are?
No, but the coordinators hire all the stunt people.
What percentage of women compared to men are there doing stunt work?
5-10%.
Is that right? Is it hard to get employed as a stunt person? How do you get employed?
Well, like I said, I got in through my horse background because there was nobody that I did some, you know, I had to be rearing a horse as these guys are shooting at me in Paramount Ranch on the grass, running across the field. And on the third rear, they had these squibs that exploded in the grass. On the third one, he slipped as he reared and flipped over on me. You know, horse stuff, I've done a lot of.
What advice would
stuff.
you give to somebody who wanted to become a stunt person?
Well, they need to. There's actually a few guys that were stunt guys that teach driving that have Corey Eubanks. I think he moved to Texas now, but he's great, and he started a driving school so you could learn, stunt driving. But it's not just driving school. You got to do more. Like we would actually, don't tell the car places this, but we would actually rent cars, and before they built like Malibu West out by Trancas where I live, like they had all the streets paved, but there was no houses yet. So we'd go up in the canyon and we'd do big slides, and that's where I learned. Janet Brady, she was in The Only Girl in Stunts Unlimited, which was my brother's first group he was in. Buddy Joe Hooker was fabulous. He was my brother's mentor. Then my brother ended up starting what's called Brand X Action Stunts, but another group. But Stunts Unlimited, Janet Brady was the only woman, and she would come down. She lived up by Santa Barbara. She would come down when we rented these cars for the day, and she taught several of us a lot of driving stuff. We did that many times.
All right, final question.
Tell
me who you were most pleased to meet or work with.
most pleased the best one I ever worked with was David Ellis, my brother.
Okay.
And I got to work with so many great actresses, but I still think Betty White was the
best.
sweetest. You know, we had a birthday party planned for her 100th birthday, and she passed a couple, 2-3 weeks ahead. And well, I was so sad, but she was just, I can't even explain her. She was so funny and so sweet.
How about Annie Ellis? What a treat to have her here. So pleased all of you watched Tune In with Trevor. Please sign up to be a follower and let us know your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.